Last Tuesday we were discussing morality, weren't we?
Yeah.
Usually.
And it sort of came up that we should probably have a discussion about moral particularism and value pluralism. So I suppose we should start with, what are those, Dave?
I don't know. I've never heard of either of them.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll have to delve into my good place memory then.
What do you expect? Do you think I've studied philosophy or something? Okay. I'll start with moral particularism because it's one that Chris is interested in.
It very much is.
Yeah. Okay. So, generally, when we think about morality, we think about principles. So, when we think of somebody being a moral person, we think of them having a certain set of principles that are consistent and applied across the board. They might not necessarily be applied in a sort of cosmopolitan way, but they'll have a principle like it's not moral to lie to your friends. Some might go with it just it's not moral to lie in a sort of universalist sense, or there might be a generalist sense, which is it's not okay to lie to your friends, but it's okay to lie to other people. And those things will be applied consistently across the board. Moral particularism is a bit different. It argues that there is no moral principles, no consistent moral principles. It was first come up with by R.M. Hare, I think it was in the 50s or the 60s. And I think it's Jonathan Darch who mostly promotes it these days. And it's the idea that there are no universals, there are no general principles across the board, there are no general principles. We take each moment as it comes and we judge it based on the circumstances. We have basic ideas about morality that we learn through our life, that we come across in culture. And when we're greeted with a situation like somebody stealing just because it's cool, we might say, well, stealing is wrong, especially in that scenario. But if we have a mother who's stealing to feed her baby, we might go, well, yes, she's broken the law, but has she really done anything wrong? I mean, there might have been other alleys, but maybe they weren't available to her at the time. We have to consider all the circumstances and judge then. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so, I mean, with that, you could still have an ultimate purpose to morality, but you
No,
realize, no, there is no
no,
ultimate purpose to it.
no, no.
Right.
Not in moral particularism. There are no moral principles, no moral guidelines, no moral absolutes. It's all intuitively based. Think of it in a sort of emotivist
I was just going
basis.
to say, is it like emotivism, but right, okay. So would you say moral particularism is like emotivism, at least mostly subjective then?
Yes, be, but not subjective in the sense that it gets its truth from the personal opinion. It's just an opinion about what is right and wrong. And we might all have sort of similar opinions, but they're guided by moral intuitions rather than any principles.
So it's also sort of saying that there is no real right or wrong then in that regard.
Not in that sort of sense, no. But we still judge actions as right or wrong. It's just the way we do it is it's not based on any absolutes, any goals, any particular rules. It's based on how we feel about a particular situation.
Okay.
Whereas with deontology, we would have a specific set of rules to go back to, and with consequentialism, we would be able to go purely on the consequences. With particularism, you have to use both of those or neither of those to kind of find your way through to what you feel is the best result in any given situation.
Yeah, basically.